This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined once again by Spencer Oliver. Spencer, we're here, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, mega rematch, Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk. Talk to me, how are you feeling and what's your sort of thoughts on the main event?
Mate, I'm buzzing, mate. I'm buzzing because I've got a direct flight which took about 6 hours.
How have you managed that? Because nobody else seemed to have.
I can't believe what's going on here, mate. I went with Saudi Airlines. It was quite simple, direct flight. Chicken balti curry on the way was the best food I've ever had on a plane. Incredible. Got off here. 3 o'clock in the morning I landed. It was 41 degrees when we landed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Went to the hotel, went to sleep about 5, woke up at 7:30, went to the gym, had a good workout. Company out here now. But I've walked around, it's like I'm in a room with a load of zombies. Is probably the best way to describe it.
Yesterday was a long day.
People doing 24-hour flights, 26-hour flights. They're flying to Turkey. They're going indirect here, there, everywhere. Mate, I don't know what the problem is. It's a direct flight, done.
Moving away from all that, we spoke to Anthony yesterday. Seems in very good place mentally. How much of this fight for him is the mental side of it and making sure that he sticks to a game plan that actually works and makes sense this time around?
Probably 80% of this is mental going into this fight because he's got to overcome those scars of the last fight. Yeah. You know, it's not like he's had a chance to sort of get that out of his system and have a little warm-up fight before going back into this one. You've got to remember the way the last fight panned out. From the first round to the 12th round, Joshua was on the wrong end of wrong end of everything. Yeah, the third round he was hurt quite badly. Knew Usyk could hurt him. Usyk hurt him 2 or 3 times through the fight. With about 10 seconds to go, Joshua was in desperate trouble. Only the bell saved him. So he's got those scars to deal with. He knows what he's got to do. He knows what he's got to do. Tactically, he got it totally wrong last time. He knows that this time he's got to go in there and roll the dice. He can't work to a 12-round strategy. He's got to try and go in there and take Usyk out. But that's easier said than done because Usyk's got such a great boxing IQ. And guess what? He likes to have a fight as well. So it's a tough ask for Anthony Joshua. I respect that he's taking it on. For one, and I know that he's got the tools in the locker to do it, but it's just whether he can implement those tactics and get it right. It's got to be educated pressure, but more importantly, he's got the power to hurt any heavyweight. He's got elite heavyweight power. You know, if he's tagged someone, they stay tagged because he's a great finisher. So he's got to look to get Usyk. He can't allow Usyk to get into any sort of rhythm. If he does that, he's in big trouble.
When you look at Anthony Joshua in that first fight, one thing that was evident, although he lost the fight clearly, Usyk came out of it marked up. Is this a case of do more of that, don't wait for him, go to him and sit on him? Because if this goes past 6 rounds, everyone's going to be thinking, maybe here we go again.
Absolutely. Listen, Derek Chisora showed the blueprint on how to beat him. Just stay in his face and push him and, rough him up a little bit and try and do that. But Usyk's put on a lot of weight coming into this one. Apparently 15 kg. Yeah. If it is, I think it's more 15 pounds than kg because 15 kilos is a lot of weight to put on. But if he has 15 pound or whatever, that makes this fight a lot more even as in weights. So is he looking to get Joshua out of there? Does he feel that he's taken something from that last fight? But Joshua looks like he's going to come in light, and when he comes in light, that could make him more explosive. He's got elite heavyweight power.
I was just about to say, the physique of Oleksandr Usyk that I saw from pictures, he looks ripped to shreds, but it looks like he's put on a lot of muscle mass. Does that at all play into the hands of Anthony Joshua, knowing that maybe the extra muscle mass and the extra weight, could that slow his mobility down at all?
Absolutely, that's what I mean. There's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes in this fight, so we ain't going to see that. Listen, these open workouts are normally nonsense, if I'm honest, so I think they've seen them. I just want to see the shape of him, see what he's like on his feet, see if he's still carrying that mobility that took him through to that first fight. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, so I can't wait to see the guys. I mean, we'll speak later on in the week, through the week, as we get into the guys, see what their mind frame's like, see what their physical shape is like, etc., and then we'll know more about how the fight's going to go. But as it stands, we know it's a tough night for Joshua. He knows that as well, but it's how tactically he gets it right.
Talk to me about one of your colleagues' comments on Anthony Joshua and what happens if he loses this, because Johnny Nelson came out and said he thinks he'll walk away. Now, I was a bit surprised because I think when you look at the calibre of opponent, it's not like he's losing to just an average heavyweight or just a one-off heavyweight champion. He's losing. If he does lose, it'd be to a pound-for-pound great. What do you make of them comments? Do you agree? Do you sort of think, no, he'll come back? Because there's a lot of fights and he's just signed that big contract.
Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, he won't walk away. I know Joshua. I think a loss here won't spell the end for him. He's a two-time heavyweight champion looking to become a 3-time heavyweight champion. a loss to Oleksandr Usyk will not be enough to make him walk away from the sport.
Yeah.
You know, Usyk's a good southpaw. You know, and he's going to go down as a great, an all-time great. He was undisputed cruiserweight champion. He's looking to become undisputed heavyweight champion. We don't know what's going on with Tyson Fury at the moment. Yeah. He's retiring. He's not retiring, etc., etc. He's giving up the Ring Magazine belt. But no, Joshua will not retire if he loses this fight.
When we mentioned Tyson Fury, obviously the Ring Magazine's now on the line. Is it a bit silly, or is it mind games, the fact that they've been given an extension till the 26th for the WBC belt, when in theory all the marbles could have been on for this fight? Is this all just a ploy?
No, listen, I know what it is. It's like he's waiting to see if Joshua wins this fight, and if he wins the fight, he's still got the WBC belt. The Ring Magazine belt's still in play as well, because the winner's got this one. Then we get the undisputed. So I just think it's all about, you know, if Joshua wins, then that becomes one of the biggest heavyweight fights in history. And I think that's the importance of it. So Fury's kept that belt until the 26th, surprise, to see what happens in this fight, and then he'll make the decision from them. So I'm not surprised.
I'll take it another way as well. I'm not sure how many times a heavyweight champion's been undefeated and a two-time Ring Magazine champion. So do you think he gave it away thinking, I might break another record here, whoever wins that, I'll walk back in and become a three-time Ring Magazine? You know, all these little other bits that go on in the background.
Absolutely. Listen, the old Gypsy King, mate, is a king of breaking records, isn't he? It's what he does. That's what he thrives on. He likes to push the boundaries. So yeah, could be another one.
Do you think, hearts, that if Oleksandr Usyk wins, Tyson Fury comes out of retirement? Because a lot of people, I think Usyk himself has said before that he won't fight him, or that there was something. Do you think, from the outside looking in, that Fury shy away from that fight?
Well, I don't think he'll shy away from it, but at the moment he's retired, and he might not interest him enough. There might not be enough of an appetite for that fight. You know, our boxing fans want to see it. We're all hardcore boxing fans, but what I'm saying is, to the casual, the Joshua fight is huge. It's huge. Usyk fight is not as big, so it might not be enough to tempt him out of retirement, whereas the Joshua fight will. So look, if Usyk wins the fight and he doesn't come out of retirement, that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't damage his legacy. And if he does take on Usyk, which is a much more less meaningful fight, and he loses to Usyk, he does damage his legacy. So why does he want to put all that in jeopardy? So I understand where he's coming from.
Would the only carrots come out of retirement to fight Usyk to be called officially undisputed? That must be the only thing.
It's the only thing. It's the only thing. But whether he's got the appetite to do that is another thing. You know, it's all right that, but like, listen, he's had a long career. He's been around a long time. He's achieved everything he wanted to achieve in the sport. For me, I think it's only Joshua that gets him out of retirement.
It's going to be an interesting one. It's got a terrific undercard, actually. Philip Ergovitz going against Big Bang Zhang. One of the future stars for me of boxing by looking at him, Ben Whittaker. Yeah. Ramla Ali. Who are you looking forward to seeing on this undercard? Andrew Tabiti as well. What are you looking forward to seeing?
Listen, Badu Jackson there, Callum Smith's on there as well. Yeah. You know, but look, listen, I'm looking forward to seeing Ben Whittaker, because I just saw his debut. It was one of the best debuts I've seen. I work closely with him on Boxer anyway, but the kid is going to be a superstar. He's not just going to be a world champion, he's going to be a superstar. And I'm looking forward to watching his development. So I'm so pleased he's added to this card.
Yeah. Is he the next huge pay-per-view star? Because when we look at all these guys going now, you've had your George Groves, your Bellews, your Brooks, Hayes, there's that door that's been left open now for someone to come through. When you look at him, is he the one that's going to take Great Britain by storm and be that guy? Because he's going to turn people off and turn people on, and that's why people choose to watch him.
100%. He is going to be the next superstar of British boxing. Mark my card.
Spencer Oliver, it's been a pleasure chatting. Absolutely always. Buzzing. You must like about 20 coffees this morning. I
know, mate. Well, I haven't actually. I'm just buzzing that everyone's just like, you're all feeding me energy. You're all like, because you're all walking around like, oh, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going buzzing, mate. Yeah. So yeah, listen, let's catch up later on in the week.
Appreciate you, Sam.
Pleasure.